supper. This morning around 6 a.m., my reading took me on a journey I wasn't expecting. I started in Matthew 21 with the parable of the two sons. One who said he wouldn't obey, but did, and one who said he would, but didn't. A quick reminder that actions, not just words, speak volumes in the kingdom of God. But then I moved into Matthew 22, the parable of the wedding feast, and the layers began unfolding. The king prepares a celebration. Invitations go out. Some ignore them. Some reject them outright. Others make excuses. And yet the king keeps inviting, sending out messengers to gather everyone, good and bad, from the streets. Still, what struck me most wasn't the initial rejection, but what happened once the banquet began. One guest made it in, but wasn't wearing the proper wedding attire. The king calls him friend, but then cast him out. He had shown up, but he wasn't dressed. That was the part that stopped me. So I searched deeper. In biblical times, wedding garments were provided by the host. They were more than just clothing. They were symbols of honor and belonging. And in this parable, the garment represented the righteousness of Christ, something we don't earn, but we must put on. It's not about simply showing up to church or being connected to other believers in spaces. It's about wearing what the King has provided, living changed, walking differently. It reminded me of other parables, how the wheat and the chaff, they grow together until they're separated. How the 10 virgins with lamps are bid to come all together until 5 of them and their oil runs out. How workers, though hired at different times, but were paid the same. In all of these, the thread is clear. God is gracious, but he's also just. Proximity isn't the same as transformation. Being in the room isn't the same as being ready. That word, worthy, kept surfacing while I was reading different parables, different passages. So I thought to myself, who is worthy? The one who receives him, the one who repents, the one whose heart is changed, whose life bears fruit. It reminded me of the prodigal son. He was restored not because he did everything right, but because he turned back home. And his return made him worthy. Not perfect, just honest and willing to now do what's required of a king's son. Then there's the worker who gets paid at the last hour, still received the same reward as if he was there working at the first watch. Grace isn't fair in our eyes, but it's always sufficient. I kept thinking, what is the proper attire? What did that man refuse to wear? The truth is, the garment was offered. He just didn't want it. Maybe he accepted the invitation, but not the transformation. Maybe he wanted to be included, but not changed. See, in biblical times, when you were invited to the kings for a service or for a celebration, the host provided the garment to you. So when the king looked and saw that this person, whom he refers to as friend, that he didn't belong because he wasn't wearing the appropriate apparel, he wasn't worthy to stay and be at this celebration, it wasn't because it wasn't provided. He had not accepted. He did not want the transformation. The Lord's use of friend before judgment felt almost haunting reading those scriptures in Matthew 22. Gentle, personal, but a sobering reminder to be referred to as friend, but then to only be cast aside. And yet, this whole passage isn't about just judgment. It's about the invitation. The king still sends the call, still offers the garment, still opens the door. So today, I was asking the Lord, make me real, not just invited, but transformed. Not just in the room, but clothed in your righteousness. Not just close, but changed. To her, it was granted to be arrayed in fine linen, clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of the saints. Revelation 19:8. Make me real.